Hey, welcome back to Fluentmx. I'm Olivia, your host for today, and I am so excited to have you here. I get asked this one question a lot from English learners all over the world. How long does it actually take to get better at English? Well, if you look around, some people study English for 10 years. They buy expensive grammar books, they memorize rules, and yet they still feel completely nervous when they have to speak. But then, there are other people who just listen to natural English every single day. And after a few months, their speaking improves drastically. Why does that happen? Because listening is the secret key to fluency. So, if you are listening to this Fluentmx video right now, your English is actively getting better. Today, we are not going to look at textbooks. We are just going to talk about real life, about normal, everyday things. You listen, and your brain naturally learns English. No stressful tests, no boring grammar lists. Just make yourself comfortable. Grab a cup of coffee, tea, or even just a glass of water, sit back, and listen. By the end of this video, you will feel more confident, and your vocabulary will expand. Let's dive right in with something we all do every single day. Our morning routine. Think about it for a second. What is the very first thing you do in the morning? For me, my alarm goes off at 7 a.m. every day. I know some people love peaceful, quiet mornings where they wake up at 5 a.m., but honestly, I don't. The moment I wake up, I need noise. I need upbeat, happy music with lots of energy because I usually feel quite tired in the morning. But I must drink coffee first before I do anything else. Coffee is not optional for me, it is absolutely required. After my coffee, I jump in the shower, get dressed, and then eat breakfast. Usually, I have toast with butter and honey and maybe some eggs. Now, let's think about this morning routine and practice together. I will say the phrase, and I want you to repeat it out loud wherever you are. Ready? In the morning, I wake up at 7 o'clock. I drink coffee. I take a shower. I eat breakfast. And then I start my day. Good. Did you hear those phrases? Wake up, drink coffee, take a shower, eat breakfast. These are highly useful everyday phrases. Tell me in the comments, what is your morning routine? Are you an early bird, or do you love sleeping in? Okay, let's change the topic and talk about work. Do you like your job? I like my job most of the time. Let's be honest, nobody loves every single moment at work, am I right? I like working with different people, and I love learning something new every single day. But sometimes, the meetings are way too long. You sit in a meeting for 2 solid hours and you just think, can this please end? I just want to go home. Let's talk about some very useful job vocabulary. Listen carefully to these words. First word, a colleague. A colleague is someone you work with. You could say, my colleague is helping me with this project. Next word, a deadline. A deadline is the date or time when you must finish your work. Deadlines can be incredibly stressful. If your boss says, the deadline is tomorrow, you know you have to work fast. Next word, a manager. A manager is the person who leads a team, basically, your boss. And one more work word, to resign. To resign means to leave your job, but it means you choose to leave yourself. For example, she resigned from her job last week because she found a better one. That's very different from being fired, where someone else tells you to leave. All right, moving on to my favorite topic in the world. Let's talk about food. I feel like I am always a little bit hungry. What is your all-time favorite food? I really love Italian food. A simple pasta with a rich tomato sauce is just so good. But I also absolutely love Asian food. Japanese, Thai, Vietnamese, especially a massive bowl of hot ramen on a freezing cold winter day. It is absolute perfection. I actually really enjoy cooking at home too. I find it so relaxing. After a long, stressful day at work, going into the kitchen and cooking is like therapy for me. I just chop vegetables and forget about all my problems. Now, let's talk about going to a restaurant. This is very practical for English learners. Imagine you walk into a restaurant and sit down at your table. The waiter approaches and usually says, "Good evening, welcome. Can I take your order?" You can reply, "Yes, I'd like the pasta, what do you want to eat?" Or, "I'll have the chicken, please." Listen to those phrases, "I'd like" and "I'll have." These are extremely polite ways to order food in English. We never just say, "Give me the pasta." That sounds very rude and demanding. Let's practice ordering together. Repeat after me out loud. "I'd like the soup, please." "I'll have the chicken, please." "Could I have a glass of water?" "Can I take your order?" Perfect. Now you can easily and politely order food in any English-speaking restaurant. And speaking of easy things, if you are enjoying this Fluentmx podcast right now, please take 1 second to hit that like button. It helps the channel grow and helps other English learners find this video. Okay, let's keep going. I absolutely love traveling. I think I've been to about 15 or 16 countries so far. Every place has its own unique magic. Japan is incredible for its rich culture, the amazing food, and the beautiful nature. Morocco was unbelievable too, the bright colors, the lively busy markets called souks, and the warm, vibrant culture. Let's learn some important travel vocabulary that you will definitely need at the airport. First word, a passport. Your passport is the official government document you need to travel to another country. Without it, you cannot leave. Next, a visa. A visa is special permission to enter a specific country. Some countries require a visa, some don't. It depends entirely on your passport. Next word, luggage. Your luggage is your bags, everything you carry when you travel. You can also call it baggage. I always complain that my luggage is too heavy because I pack way too many clothes. Next, accommodation. Accommodation simply means where you are going to stay, like a hotel, a hostel, or an apartment. You can say, "I booked my accommodation online." And the last travel word, itinerary. An itinerary is your detailed plan of what you will do each day on your trip. My itinerary includes visiting the museum and going to the beach. Let's pivot slightly and talk about technology. How much time do you spend on your phone every day? Honestly, for me, it's probably 4 or 5 hours. I know it is a lot, but our phones are basically powerful mini-computers now. I use my phone for work, checking emails, reading the news, taking photos, managing social media, and I use maps heavily when I get lost in the city. Think about it, 20 years ago, people used massive paper maps, they wrote physical letters, and they used payphones on the street. Technology changes so incredibly fast. I think technology is great because it connects us with people across the globe, but we have to maintain a healthy balance. Use technology, but don't let technology use you. Let's learn some daily technology vocabulary. First word, to scroll. To scroll means to move up and down on your screen with your finger. We all spend too much time scrolling through social media. Next, to charge. To charge your phone means to plug it into electricity to fill the battery. When a phone has absolutely no battery left, we say it's dead. My phone is dead, I need a charger. Next is an app. App is short for application, like a music app, a mobile banking app, or a language learning app. And one more tech word, to update. To update your phone means to install a new software version. Your phone usually pops up and says, "Please update," and we usually click "Remind me later" every single time. Since we mentioned health and balance, let's talk about exercise. Do you exercise a lot? I try to exercise regularly, maybe 4 times a week. I go for a walk, I run sometimes, and I go to the gym to lift some weights or use the treadmill. A treadmill is that machine where you run but you stay in the exact same place. It's hard to stay motivated to exercise, so the key is to find something you actually enjoy. Let's learn some health vocabulary. First, fit. To be fit means your body is healthy and strong. She exercises every day. She is very fit. Next, a habit. A habit is something you do regularly without even thinking about it. Drinking a lot of water is a good habit. Eating too much sugar is a bad habit. Next, stress. Stress is when you feel worried or under pressure, usually from work or life problems. It is very important to manage your stress. And lastly, energy. Energy is the power you have to do things. Some days you have lots of energy, and some days you have no energy at all. What about where you live? Do you live in a house or an apartment? I live in an apartment right in the middle of the city. I love city life because everything is close: shops, restaurants, public transport. It's very convenient. But sometimes I dream of living in a small, quiet house with a garden where I can grow my own vegetables and flowers. Here are some quick words about living spaces. A landlord. A landlord is the person who owns the property and rents it to you. Rent is the money you pay every month to live there. A neighbor is someone who lives near you, in the next apartment or the next house. We all hope for friendly neighbors. And furniture. Furniture refers to the big things in your home, like sofas, chairs, tables, and beds. Let's move on to the weather. English people love talking about the weather. What is your favorite season? I love autumn, or fall as they say in America. The colors of the leaves, the cool air, it's just beautiful. My least favorite is winter, simply because I hate being cold and I don't like how early it gets dark. Here is some essential weather vocabulary for small talk. Cloudy, when there are many clouds in the sky hiding the sun. Foggy, fog is like a white cloud on the ground that makes it hard to see far away. Drive carefully, it's very foggy. Humid, humid means the air has a lot of water in it. Hot and humid weather makes you feel very sweaty and sticky. And a forecast. A forecast tells you what the weather will be like tomorrow or next week. I always check the weather forecast before I plan a trip. Let's talk about free time. What do you do in your free time? I read a lot of books, I listen to podcasts, and I love watching documentaries about nature and history. Documentaries are so calming and educational. I also enjoy photography, just going out and taking pictures of landscapes. When you have a camera, you notice beautiful little details in the world that you usually ignore. Here are some hobby words. A passion. A passion is something you love deeply and care about a lot. To collect. To collect means to get more and more of something you like. Some people collect stamps, I collect books. Creative. Being creative means you use your imagination to make new things, like painting or writing. And relaxing. Something relaxing helps you feel calm and removes your stress. All right, before we finish today's long session, I want to give you some very useful everyday expressions. These are phrases native speakers use all the time in daily conversation. First expression, I'm not sure, but... You use this when you don't know the exact answer, but you want to guess politely. I'm not sure, but I think the bank closes at 5 p.m. Next, that's a good point. You say this when someone says something smart or correct that you didn't think of. It shows you respect their idea. Next, actually. You use actually when you want to give the real or surprising information. I thought the movie would be boring, but actually, it was really good. Next, it depends. You say this when the answer changes based on different situations. Is London expensive? Well, it depends on where you go. Next, by the way. This is how you introduce a completely new topic or something you just remembered. By the way, did you hear the news today? And finally, I totally agree. This is a strong way to say yes, you share the exact same opinion. If you want to disagree politely, you don't say you are wrong. Instead, you say, I see your point, but... That is much more polite and natural. Well, looking at the time, I think we have covered an incredible amount of ground today. We talked about morning routines, jobs, ordering food at restaurants, traveling the world, our smartphone habits, health, housing, weather, hobbies, and everyday native expressions. That is a massive amount of English vocabulary for one podcast episode. Your brain has been working very hard today, absorbing all these natural conversations. That is exactly how you improve. Little by little, day by day. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep listening and keep practicing. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, it shows you are truly serious about improving your English, and you should be very proud of yourself. Before you go, I have one final question for you. Tell me in the comments below, what is the most useful new phrase or word you learned in today's video? I read every single comment, and I absolutely love hearing from you guys. Thank you so much for spending your valuable time with me today. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to Fluentmx so you never miss our next conversation. Keep practicing, keep listening, and remember, your English is already better than it was yesterday. See you in the next video, everyone. Take care and goodbye.